Hello and welcome back to Trainz A New Era. Today I'm going to be looking at continuing on with the tutorials. I must say I really like the that little flick over there. It really does look good. There is something about Trainz A New Era. I did always like Trainz what do you call these? Not screensavers. There's a word for them. Loading screens? No, not. It's just the background on the loading screens I really liked. Anyway, today we're going to be looking at signaling and then a few other tutorials. So let's have a good look. And of course, I'm still going to be looking around at how good or how poor things are. For example, having a look at this water. That's not a water tower. What is that? What is that? It's not exactly a water. Is that the mail hopper thing? Anyway, the quality on that is not very good. For now, we're not in realistic mode. We're going to be continuing along in this DCC mode, which is the dynamic control mode, which is basically like a little Hornby train set or something like that. Very, very, very nice. So here we go. I'm going to learn North American signals because I don't really know North American signals. So this is going to be rather interesting anyway. Let's read this through. On North American railroads, signals for your train are on the right-hand side of the track. Okay, that's fine. A red signal means danger. It is not safe to enter the block ahead. Click the check mark, sure. Okay, so a green signal means it's safe to proceed and the line is clear for at least 2 blocks ahead. So like, it's just like normal. So a green signal, so it's the top signal we're always looking at. You may now start your train forward. Very well. Let's go ahead and start our train forward. That's by pressing W. But remember, it's W and X, so we can do that. Hit the horn because we always do. Very nice. Lights are on. Switch on some more lights. There we go. It's raining, so right. Let's get the train going forward at a certain rate. Of course, obviously it's not realistic with the acceleration. It's more like a little electric train set, like I said. But once we get to the more realistic stuff, it's going to be quite interesting. Look at that little shop of games. That's actually quite nice. I must say that is that Uniqlo? Oh my word, they actually have Uniqlo there. I remember we used to have shops in the UK. We used to have Uniqlo shops in the UK. Really good clothing. It's amazing that they have stuff like this here. I think the scenery is better than that in Train Simulator. I think the engine's not as good, but the scenery is certainly better than that in Train Simulator. That's not to say it's not as good as Train Sim World. Train Sim World is absolutely fantastic, but the fact that there was a real shop there, Uniqlo, which I recognized, that was really, really good. Right, so we can continue forward. There's a green signal over there. Now, is that a searchlight signal? Now, the reason I ask this is you're going to see in my Transport Fever videos that I've been trying to work out what that is. Is that a 7-Eleven? Is that what it's called? A 7-Eleven? Yep, that's a 7-Eleven. Wow. You'll see in my Transport Fever videos, I've been trying to work out what these various lights are and which ones work where. Alrighty. Let's do that now. So we're just going to continue ahead. I'm going to accelerate. That's rather uphill right there. That would take a lot of power to get up that hill. You can see the incline right there. That's crazy. Let's have a look inside this train. Ooh, we can switch on ditch lights, but no, I want to have a look inside. Ah, yeah, that actually doesn't look too bad. They could really do with better graphics here. But all in all, that doesn't look too bad. Alert to reset, does that work? No, sanding. The problem is the buttons don't really work. Oh yeah, because it's not realistic mode, that's possibly why. We'll find out very soon. Let's continue accelerating. I think it's got decent physics. I can see the movement of the train. And the physics are rather decent on it. That could do with better texturing. Caution, do not move dynamic brake to set up until throttle has been idle for at least 10 seconds. Alright. That's interesting. That's something maybe I'll have to remember. Alright, so now that's a yellow signal coming up. which means the next signal is red. So I've slowed down to 20 miles an hour. Approach, proceed with caution, which means the next signal is currently red. So obviously you slow the train down. And since I can't see what's around the corner, I don't know where this red signal is. If I had a map, if I had a look at the map, I would have been able to work it out. But we're going to see. We're just going to continue along the way. I do like the inside of this train, I must admit. I wish there was better quality on it, but overall it's really, really nice. I can't see the signal anywhere here. Can I open the window? Have I tried this before? It's got a bit of a texture issue there. Doing 20 miles an hour. Where's the signal? Ooh, I can zoom in. I can zoom in and there's a signal there, but I can't see whether it is. Is that the signal? I mean, that is my signal, so potentially that's the signal. But I can't see the colour of it as I potter along at 20. That seems to seem a lot slower than when it's like this. Weird. That's the red signal. Now the train, because it's in dynamic, it seems to slow down because it's in DCC, direct control, it seems to slow down a lot easier. So I don't have to worry too much, but obviously in realistic mode this is going to be a problem. So there is that. Somebody asked me about what DLC I have purchased. I actually got this, it's the Platinum Edition, I believe. So in the description box I will probably list the DLC that are included. There's a lot of DLC, so I may not include or add all of them, but there's a number of British DLC, there's a number of American DLC, some steam trains, stuff like that. The LMS Coronation class, for example, is on there. The Royal Scot class is on there. So yeah, there is a bunch of DLC that I have got, and I picked it all up for £20. So that would be what, $25? Something like that. I think I can slow down in time. I'm going to try and aim to have that red where it reaches the edge of this so I can still see it. That's what I'm going to try and get it. 6 miles an hour. I like how this flashes, warning how close you've got to that signal. That's actually really, really nice. Very, very neat idea there. And I think I'll just stop it about there. That looks pretty good. Alright, another freight train is currently occupying the block ahead. Oh look, it's a Santa Fe. Santa Fe? Once the train has cleared the block, you will be permitted to proceed. Okay. Good trackside view. Look at that. I want to go back into my cab view. So right, so we need to wait for that train to go through. And then we're going to. So you can see at the moment we've got our brakes are on and stuff like that. Okay, it's a yellow. So we can continue. And you saw how quickly that just went off. That's because it's not in realistic mode. Alrighty, so we can continue along the yellow signal as it is. So it works exactly the same. That was weird when it went through that. So now I should be able to put some power down. So I have to assume that the next signal is red. I know it says here next signal yellow, but I have to assume the next signal is red because I just passed through a yellow signal. And I don't know whether you have double yellows in America, but it wasn't a double yellow. Maybe a flashing yellow would be a double yellow, I'm not too sure. So I have to assume that the speed limit is 50 miles an hour, Right there, you can see the speed limit being 50, or we're going into a 50 in 3, 2, 1 now. But I'm going to do about 25 to 30 miles an hour. That's what I'm going to do. It's not too bad, this. I have to say, the game itself is fairly okay. I wish there were better textures. I really do wish there were better textures. I think this title with better textures would be fantastic. It really, really would be fantastic. I think it could really do with better textures. I'm half tempted to attempt to model something with high textures, but I'm not sure if the engine could handle it. So I'm going to increase speed still. We're on a downhill gradient, so we are going to be increasing speed rather rapidly, but I'm going to just increase speed to about 30 miles per hour as we go around this corner. And we should be able to see a red signal. Is that a tunnel that we're going into? I think that's a tunnel. I think you're supposed to hit the horns when you go through a tunnel. Oh, that's nice. Lighting works very well in here. I'm happy about that because Train Simulator 2018, the lighting is really poor. That's good lighting. That really is good lighting. Admittedly, it took a while for it to just light up and then, yeah, it switches off. See, that needs to be worked upon. Alright, we're doing 33, so I'm just going to ease off a little bit here. Where's my wiper controlled? Should we be up here? No. 35. We are going downhill. I'm actually going to ease off somewhat as if I'm on the brakes. Obviously, I'm not on the brakes here because of the control method. Right, that's a yellow signal as well. Obviously, I knew it was yellow, but I had to double check and make sure. So I'm actually going to continue, and that's now gone green. So I'm actually going to now go up to line speed here, which is 60 miles per hour. Although that corner looks rather sharp, so I may not go all the way up to 60. I may just tempt it at 40. This is actually quite good. I'm fairly impressed with this. At first, I wasn't all too impressed with the way things looked. I think the lighting does need improving on this, but with that being said, I think overall it's kind of alright. That's a very high-speed corner, that is. I wouldn't think, wow, that's wobbling a bit. I suppose you could take that. Yeah, I suppose you could. There's a line side view. Looking good. Looking good. Southern Pacific. Should we go back inside? Let's go back inside. Get out of the way. And the lights are going to come on again. Oops, I pressed the wrong button there again. I'm so used to pressing S. I was supposed to slow down for a 45 limit. See, the lighting does need work. It does definitely need work, but it's okay. Right, this is a very sharp corner. This is a very, very sharp corner. It's a 40. I'm doing 40. It's a 45. I do like that. Again, we're going into another tunnel. Lights up very nicely, and then when you come out the tunnel, there's that weird glitch of it switching off its lights. I'm actually fairly impressed with this. Taking out the signaling tutorial, it's very, very nice. Around the corner again. Shedding off just a little bit more speed. As we go around the corner. Where's the next signal? I can't see it. There it is. It's also a yellow. So the other one was green. This one is now yellow. So I need to take that into account. I've also got 75 mile an hour limits and a level crossing. I think that's right. Now the next signal is red. And I can see it up ahead, I think. There it is. There's the signal. It's red and I need to be braking. Hard on the brakes. I'm pretty hard on the brakes here. But I'm trying to ease it down as realistically as I possibly could. Which is about there. Very good. A passenger train has priority over your freight movement and has been allowed to proceed ahead of you. Okay. I'm assuming that's the passenger train right behind us. Yep, that's the one. We'll switch that off. It's not a bad view. That's not bad at all. Admittedly, like I said, I think it needs work. It does need work. But it's not bad. It really isn't bad. And it's nice. This signalling tutorial is actually quite nice. Why did I switch off my lights? That was odd. Any particular reason I did that? Could I switch my headlights back on, please? There we go. Oh, it's because I'm not moving. Once I stop moving, that's when when my lights are going to go back up. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, not bad, not bad. The signal ahead is still red. I think that is one of the searchlight signals. So we just have to wait for this to clear. I'm assuming it's not going to take too long. And we'll have a quick blast of the horn before we move off. Again, look at that. That needs to be... Please give me better textures. See, look, this is okay. These textures are alright. But then this is not, and that's not, and that's not. That's now yellow. Let's go ahead. Right, so we should be able to move ahead. Now, given the time it took for that, I'm assuming the next signal's about half a mile away. Yeah, I'm going to think it's about half a mile away. There you go, told you, next signal half a mile away. So you get used to this. I was working out that train was accelerating, the speed limit was about 60. I was assuming with the corner it's going to go down to about 40 or 50, which I think, yeah, it's going down to 50 right there. And then I just worked out from there how long did it take for us to get as far as we got, and then work out the distance to the signal that way. So it said if it went clear at that point, with the length of the train, it must be about half a mile away, which it was. It's just a bit of working things out. It takes a little while to get used to it as well. I did that because I was stopped and the train was going slow. When the train's going fast, then you have to work out how fast the train is going and try and work out, you know, the distance of signals from how the signals are changing, and you're going a certain speed, and then you need to calculate how long it's going to take you to get to the next signal and all that. It does get a little bit confusing, but for that it wasn't too bad. It was not too bad at all. Bridges are rather interesting in here. Did it look good? So the next signal I'm assuming is going to be red. That's my assumption of the signal. So I have to be prepared to stop. That's why I'm only going slow. Because I saw a yellow signal. But then again, with the train continuing along, I don't know when the next signal is. So it could be red or it could be yellow. Now I know up here it says it's green, but I don't know. As a driver, I don't know. So I'm just going to continue along until I see the signal. And then we're going to have to decide from there. Can I change view? I can't change view. Let's find out. So we're doing only 15 miles an hour as we round this corner to see what the signal is. We need a repeater. There should be a repeater on here. And there's the signal. I can't see it though because of the corner. It's green. Obviously it's green. There's a signal, it's green. Now we're just going to put our foot down. So perhaps repeaters. I don't know. Do they have repeaters in America? I'm not too sure. Interesting. I was going to do a couple of tutorials today, but it looks like we're just going to do the signaling tutorial today, which is going to be interesting. You know, learning about American signals, but it's very basic. I want to know what those double signals are. Is that for a branch line or something? I don't know. I've been using a weird and wacky combination in my Transports Fever series. I can't wait until I get to my third season or the third series of Transports Fever, because I'm probably going to be able to signal a little bit more clearly in that as opposed to all the weird signals. I'm going to try and stick to a more solid convention of signals that on that season. If you haven't seen my 2,000 subscribers special, although I don't think it's come out yet, it might be coming out tomorrow, so do check that out and you'll be able to see a whole bunch of stuff. So because that was a green signal, I know that the next signal is going to be clean or clear anyway, so I can continue along. But yeah, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff in that video that you're going to be potentially interested in. There'll be a potential interest of a whole bunch of stuff, and it might actually be things that you can you'll enjoy, and there might be information for series that you're wanting to watch or you want. Right, there we go. So what does that mean? Yellow, green. What does that mean? I want to know what that means. Aha! Approach medium, reduced minimum speed. Under the NORAC rules, the yellow over green aspect means that you must approach the next signal at no more than 30 miles an hour, as you will be taking the diverging path at a junction. Fantastic. That's what it means. Alright, so yellow over green aspect indicates that we must approach the next signal at no more than 30 miles per hour. Okay, that's brilliant. That's what I wanted to know. So the next signal is green, but I'm diverging. So it is like a flashing, in the UK it's a flashing yellow or flashing double yellow aspect is telling us that we're diverging, with maybe a bar at the top with white lines indicating which way we're diverging. That's good. That's very, very good. Right, so here, medium, under the NORAC rules, of red over green aspect indicates that it is safe to proceed at no more than 30 miles an hour until the entire train is clear of the interlocking, which is the junction, which is where we're switching now. Awesome. Awesome stuff. So we are cleared to go here. And then that means we're looking at the yellow here, and then the red up ahead. Fantastic. Ah, that is brilliant. Okay, so I now understand what those mean. So if we're diverging, it's the second one we look at. Okay, awesome. So as long as we know which way we're going, we should, yeah, okay, that's fine. So now we can slow it right down, because it looks like we're stopping right up ahead. I don't see a signal, but I'm just assuming we're just stopping. So that's okay. I guess because we're in a depot, we're at a yard. Hey, look, there's that train. We've caught up to the Santa Fe, I think, the Santa Fe train with the southern carriages. If it is indeed the same train, which I think it is. And we'll stop the train just about here, I think. Congratulations, you have completed this tutorial and I've completed this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos on Trainz, a new era. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think of this and letting me know if you want more videos of this. In the next video, I am going to complete the tutorials. In the next video we're going to be looking at I tell you what, I'm going to probably skip objectives. I'm going to actually look at realistic mode. I want to see what this is, and then of course Steam is going to be a fantastic one. So we're going to look at realistic mode, the train brake, dynamic brake, and potentially Steam in the next video. So do hit the thumbs up for that, and also if you can afford it, please support me on Patreon. Link to that is in the description box below. Your support would be massively appreciated. If you can throw a couple of dollars, $1 or $2 a month my way, it would be massively appreciated, and it would really mean a lot to me. So do check that out in the description box below. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you guys next time in Trainz: A New Era.